All right, so the Olympic Games are just over a year away, and the world of gymnastics is getting even more exciting. I'm really happy I get to go to the Pan American Games, and I'm looking forward to seeing some really awesome gymnastics. Now, I think often sometimes when we're a young athlete or we're just getting started, we watch these incredible gymnasts and how they're hitting these amazing skills, and we kind of take it for granted that they've already been through a lot of the trial and error process. They've already fallen off the beam 1,000 times. So if you're at that point where you feel like, I just can't get this skill, or I can't get this skill to stay on the beam, don't worry, it happens to the best of us. But I'm here to give you a few extra hints, help you take a few shortcuts, and stay on the beam a little more often. All right, so number one, keep all your body parts over the beam. Now, that seems kind of like common sense. If my body's over the beam, then I'm probably on the beam. Exactly. That's the whole point. Now, one of the things I think about, especially if you get the opportunity to choose some of your choreography, if you're doing an optional routine, then you get to decide, maybe you have a dance move with your arm out here. Well, you keep wobbling on it. Probably not a great idea to have this arm out here. You could do something just as pretty, but keep your arms over the beam and in this same plane. It's going to make it a lot easier, and you're not going to lose any points for something that doesn't gain you anything in the long run. Spend your time working on things that add value to your routine. Does that move set you apart from the rest of the crowd? Does that move add difficulty to your routine? Those are the portions that you need to think about. Now, what if you have skills in there that you can't change? You need it for difficulty, it's part of your compulsory routine, whatever that is. One of the most important things I can tell you is keep your legs straight. I am sure you have heard that maybe 1,000,000 times from your coach. Straighten your legs. But it's not just about saving that 1/10 of a point because you have a straight leg and it's a little bit prettier to watch for the judges. Keeping a straight leg also keeps your body parts over the beam. Think about it. If I'm doing a back walkover, a back handspring, a layout step out, and my back leg looks like this, it's not over the beam, right? Keep that leg nice and straight, it's right over the beam, and you're gonna land on top of the beam a lot more often. Number two, do we pull up or do we get low? Which one is best? Now, I think they're both pretty good depending on when you use them. Now, pulling up, I feel like, is more preventative. We pull up in our finishes. If you're landing a front somersault, a forward movement, you're pulling up. You pull up in your lunge, you pull up at a full turn. You're always pulling up and keeping that good body position. Now, that's something to remember when you're practicing on the beam. If you're asked to walk along the beam, you're not just kind of moping along the beam, checking things out. When you're asked to walk on the beam, you walk straight and you walk with purpose. So it's very important to have that body position. Think about pulling up. Now, if you want to see a perfect example of saving a skill by pulling up, watch my 1996 gold medal Olympic beamer team and you will see like the ultimate save. Most people don't even notice. I'm not sure the judges noticed. But on my front somersault, I land totally off and I pull up. You can't even tell, there's no deduction, there's no wobble. Pulling up matters to try to prevent and kind of correct those small little wobbles. Now, when do I get low? This is when you have a bigger issue. We've all seen these gymnasts that, I've done this before too. We're starting to get a little bit off, and then we start with the feet, we lock our knees out, we bend over, we do the arm flail, and inevitably, we're off the beam. Happens every time. Now, what if we got low? For those athletes, you see they're a little bit off, they start to go over, and then they drop their center of gravity. What's my center of gravity? Center mass, right here. It's usually right here. Center of gravity. Get that low to the beam. Bring that, all this stuff that's out here, bring your body parts back over the beam. So those are the two important things to remember when you're a little bit off or you want to prevent something. Pull up or get low. All right, my third and final tip for today is to make small corrections, small adjustments. Oftentimes when we're just starting out, we're making these huge corrections and you go from one issue to completely compensating and making it a worse issue over here. small corrections, one that hopefully the judges won't even pick up on. And that means grasping the beam with your toes, holding the beam with your hands. If you're in a handstand, use those fingers. Those small adjustments, often simply tightening your core and squaring your hips, can save you from so many mishaps. So those are the little things that you can think about when you're going throughout your routine and you're just trying to make some adjustments. Make them small. So just to recap, number 1, keep your body parts over the beam. Number 2, pull up or get low. Number 3, make small corrections. Now, I want to hear from you. If this video or any of my others have helped you out, or if you have any questions or ideas on different moves I should cover, let me know. You can follow me on Twitter at ShannonMiller96, Instagram as well. I want to hear from you. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you want more gymnastics how-to on my YouTube channel, make sure to hit subscribe. And of course, if you want to keep up with all things Shannon Miller, make sure to follow me on social media.